John, and even at his age, he deals with a lot of pressure. He's a senior in high school. But something that I've always admired about him is his ability to remain focused and not to be distracted from his goals that he wants to accomplish in life. And I mean, you're talking about going to school with the same things that you're going to encounter or see, whether it's gangs, whether it's girls, whether it's any of the things that come up in life, that you have to be strong, especially at your age, in order to, deal with it and not submit to what society tells you is acceptable.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
My name is John Bradshaw, and I attend Freeport High School. I first moved to New York when I was in the year 2000, I would say 11. I moved to New York. And when I was growing up in school, I used to get distracted a lot. I used to always get distracted. I was really into video games, and I liked sports. So a lot of teachers, they were saying, every time my mom would go to these school meetings, you ever have those meetings? I think it's called parent-teacher conference.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of times I would go to those meetings, and the teachers would always say, he has potential to do this, he has potential to do that, but I don't know, he's not doing too well right now, because I was real distracted. I was always hanging out. I was hanging out with the bad crowd. All we did was wait till the bell ring after school, and we would just hang out, probably have a snowball fight and stuff like that. So I used to get distracted a lot. And then when I came to Freeport High School, it was right down the block. I came there in 9th grade, and I was still getting distracted. The teachers were saying the same thing, and they said, well, I don't know where he's going. So it got to a point so bad where they were going to put me in night school. They was going to kick me out of day school and put me in night school. So I had my mom come up to the school, and she wrote a letter. She did something. She spoke to a lady named Miss Schroeder. So then they said, okay, we're going to leave him in day school, but he can't get suspended or whatever. Now I say that to say this. That year, well, before the 9th and 10th and 11th grade year, I was averaging about maybe a 59 GPA. I was failing. That's basically that. I was failing. Now that year in 11th grade, I started averaging an 85.6 GPA. So I shot it up. I did very well in all my classes. I went to every reviews. I didn't do after school clubs just as yet, but I went to review every day. I worked in my math. When I separated myself from the crowd, and I would always go home and just, I studied. I did study. I mean, I didn't study like maybe 5 hours, 4 hours, but I did study. And a lot of things were really distracting me. I realized when I looked back at how I used to act, I used to always try to see my friends. We used to have a game of who could talk to this girl, get with that girl, or who could do this, things like that. And that's what really distracted me a lot, was focusing on the wrong things. What girl can you get? Who can make the class laugh? Things like that. So that's what really distracted me. So now a lot of times, every time I meet someone, when I walk through the hallways of Freeport, the security guards, they ask me, what changed you? Well, what is this? What happened? What was the big significance turnaround in your life? And I always tell them, I said, well, in the 11th grade, one time I was on the internet, and then I seen these guys talking and preaching, and they was talking about history. And I never really did too much. I never really did too well in history class. But they was talking about history. They was talking about African Americans, Hispanics, where they came from, and it caught my ear. So I started listening, and I heard them saying, blacks, whatever, we have a history, whatever, and I'm listening. So I said, wow, I started listening to them. So I started following the Bible. I really got into that. I started following the Bible. And everyone I met, I started teaching them the same thing. That's just me. Everybody's different. But when I caught hold on that, that's what changed my life. I started following the Bible. Somebody may be different, whatever it may be. But that's what it was. That's what it was. And every person I met, I started teaching them the same thing. I started saying, well, they say, why'd you change? And I say, well, it was because of the scriptures. I started applying the laws to my life. I started applying the commandments. And like different situations come up. Like if I'm in high school, sometimes you may play around with somebody and it gets serious. Well, what keeps me back from not doing something to hurt someone or maybe speaking rough to them is because of the guideline of the scriptures. I follow after what it says, and that's what keeps me in check. So what really got to me, what really made me change a lot, I would say learning the history according to the Bible. Learn that blacks and Hispanics, that we are Israelites, and these are actual physical forefathers like Moses, Christ, James, Peter, John. I learned that these are my forefathers, and I said, hey, I need to follow after what my physical forefathers did. So that's what changed me a lot. I followed their example, and that's what it was for me.